guys, it's Katie with String Expert. Today we're going to work on the G major scale and we're going to do the staccato, and we're also going to slur too. So now remember, staccato is by definition a hammered bow stroke. So we want to have a really strong presence with each individual note, and it makes it sound like it's an abrupt sort of hammered sound at the end of each note. Now there's a whole video on how to play staccato, so I won't get into too much in depth, but basically the idea is that you have a very relaxed hand, but you just simply stop abruptly at the end of each stroke. So let's go ahead and try the G major scale just using the staccato bow stroke to sort of get us in the mindset that we need in order to do the staccato with the slurs. So let's try it starting from the beginning. Here we go. Understand how we want the staccato to sound. Now what we want to do is we're going to slur too using that same staccato. So our first note is going to go to the half of the bow right here, and it's going to stop abruptly just like it just sounded. So you want to have that same sound even though we are slurring too. Then the second half of the note, we're going to have the staccato as well. So it's going to be staccato, staccato. And then going back, it's the same concept, staccato, staccato. The goal is to divide your bow evenly. So make sure that you always start down here at the frog, because some people forget to do that. And we're going to play to the middle of the bow. If you have trouble keeping track of where the middle of the bow is, or if you're unsure if you actually are playing in the middle of the bow, what you can do is go practice in front of a mirror. The other thing that you can do is to take a little sticker, a little tape, and put it right in the middle of your bow so you can make sure that every time you're hitting the middle of the bow as you play. Okay, so let's try this slowly. So we're going to play our first note, and then we're going to do staccato. And then we're going to play our second note. And then going on. Careful as you're playing the staccato notes to make sure that you are not being over exaggerating with the staccato sound. I think sometimes we get so excited about this concept of being a hammer and having a strong hammered bow stroke that we use too much pressure, we use too much tension in our hand, and then it ends up sounding really squeaky and gaudy and terrible. The idea is to have a really strong sound, but we don't want to be so over the top that it doesn't sound like music anymore, it sounds like squeaking. So just be careful of that. The other thing to remember is we want to have very flexible hands as we're playing the bow stroke. So it's flex, 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 flex. This is so important in order to have a nice smooth landing when we're stopping our bow. Yes, it needs to be abrupt, but it doesn't need to sound harsh. And so there's a big difference in between the two. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed practicing and learning the G major scale staccato slur 2. If you have any questions, of course, go to my website, stringexpert.com. I'd love to help you out and get you set up with a great private music teacher for lessons. Bye for now.